The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. The deleted post everyone is talking about. Welcome to Starscope Report.
Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
So today we're doing a deep dive into the most hyper-secretive, star-studded event of the year. I'm talking, of course, about the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding.
Oh yeah, July 3rd, 2026, Madison Square Garden.
Right. And our mission today is really to decode how this absolute fortress of privacy, arguably the most ironclad NDA in Hollywood history, was completely shattered.
And not by like a paparazzo in a helicopter.
Exactly. Not by a sneaky caterer either. It was breached by a late-night, quickly deleted social media post from a very unlikely source. So we're looking at whether this was just a massive corporate blunder or, hear me out, a brilliant movie tease.
I mean, we really have to set the scene first because the security for this thing was insane.
Oh, totally.
They basically tried to create an information black hole right in the middle of Manhattan. Guests had their phones physically confiscated at the door.
Yeah, they had to put them in those locked signal-blocking bags, yonder pouches, I think.
Right, and there was heavy law enforcement just to maintain the perimeter.
Well, let me stop you there because, if you've ever planned an event, keeping a secret among 50 people is basically impossible.
Oh, for sure.
So if you put roughly 1,000 of the most famous people on Earth in one room, I mean Bradley Cooper, Selena Gomez, someone is going to talk. Why even try to enforce an NDA that strict? Is it just, like, PR theater?
Well, it's actually about creating a chilling effect, legally and psychologically.
Yeah.
You crank the security dial up to 11 to tell your high-profile guests, like, this isn't just a party. It's a closed set.
A closed set.
Right. Yeah, because you're protecting highly monetizable intellectual property. I mean, they cordoned off Madison Square Garden, a venue for 20,000 screaming fans.
And they completely transformed it. According to the leaked details that hit TMZ and Barrett Media, it didn't even look like an arena.
Not at all.
Imagine walking onto the floor of this massive sports complex, but instead of stadium seating, you're stepping into this lush, intimate countryside retreat.
It's wild to even picture.
Right. Everything was draped in peach, white, and green fabrics. They brought in real flowers, these towering artificial trees, and get this, only 15 rows of about 75 chairs.
Which is just a staggering logistical feat. To change the acoustics and the visual scale of a cavernous arena to make it feel like a garden party, that is world-class production design.
Definitely. And the sensory details we eventually got are so vivid. Like, the walls were lined with large, blown-up pictures of Taylor and Travis at every age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, year by year, from one-year-olds all the way up.
That's actually really sweet.
It gets better. Taylor walked down the aisle to strings, playing instrumental versions of her own songs.
Of course she did.
She wore a custom Christian Dior white dress with this massive veiled train designed by Jonathan Anderson. And Travis was waiting in a crisp white tuxedo.
It's just the ultimate fairy tale aesthetic. But there's this crazy contrast, right? The raw scale of MSG juxtaposed with these hyper-personal touches.
Oh, and those personal touches were everywhere. The vows reportedly took 20 minutes each.
20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes each, read from these beautiful gold books. And they gave the guests handkerchiefs, which, honestly, after 40 minutes of vows, I'm sure they needed.
Yeah, I'd be sobbing.
Right. And the handkerchiefs were embroidered with the blank space lyric, "So it's gonna be forever." Plus, Jason Kelce's kids were the flower girls.
Stop. That is too cute.
I know. But here's the kicker. The person officiating this massive high-stakes ceremony, Adam Sandler.
That choice is brilliant. It strips away all that overwhelming formality.
Exactly.
Injecting his specific brand of humor reminds everyone that, despite the literal billions of dollars in net worth sitting in those 15 rows, these are still just two people getting married.
Yeah, and you can't have a wedding like this without legendary music. Paul McCartney performed I Want to Hold Your Hand, and Stevie Nicks performed too.
So basically, the concert of a lifetime, totally privatized.
Right. So obviously the internet is vibrating with rumors. Swifties are begging for just a single crumb of information, and then the breach happens.
The infamous breach.
Yep. Adam Aron, the 69-year-old CEO of AMC Theaters, goes on X, formerly Twitter, and just casually posts a highly detailed play-by-play of these exact events.
He literally narrated the evening for his followers. And then you can tell panic set in because he deleted it so fast.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It's like building Fort Knox, putting a fire-breathing dragon in front of it, and then the guy who sold you the bricks accidentally live streams the vault code on Twitter.
It's insane.
Oh.
It circumvented millions of dollars in privacy protocols.
Yeah.
Like usually a leak is a blurry photo from a rogue staffer.
Right, some weird angle from behind a plant.
Exactly. But a cohesive, detailed narrative from a sitting CEO of a publicly traded company who was invited as a guest, that is unprecedented.
But if you think that deleted post is the wildest thing this CEO has done, wait until you hear about his history with a fake 17-year-old Russian model.
Oh boy.
If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
Yeah, because to understand how a corporate executive steps into a PR landmine of this scale, we really have to look at his digital footprint. This guy had a truly baffling history of online judgment.
Let's start with the obvious question, though. Why was the CEO of a movie theater chain even invited to the most exclusive celebrity wedding of the decade?
Well, that connects directly to modern entertainment distribution. Normally, Hollywood studios take a massive cut of a movie's box office.
Right.
But for the Eras Tour movie, Swift's team completely bypassed the studios. They partnered directly with AMC theaters. It was revolutionary, and it resulted in a massive financial windfall for both of them.
So that cemented his status in her inner circle. But Aron is not your typical buttoned-up executive.
No, not at all.
During the meme stock craze of the pandemic, he built this massive online following of retail investors, the ones who bought into AMC to save it from hedge funds. They call themselves apes, and they crowned him the silverback.
And he leaned into it. He embraced that unregulated internet culture. But when you steer a major public company, doing that leads to some deeply compromising situations.
Which brings us to the 2022 catfishing and blackmail scam.
This is where it gets wild.
According to a federal indictment and reporting from Semaphore, Adam Aron fell victim to an elaborate extortion plot. It was orchestrated by a Bronx woman named Sequoia Blackwood. She started texting him using the alias Mia.
Right, and she used stolen photos, which prosecutors later identified as a Russian model. And the attorneys specified those photos were of a 17-year-old.
Exactly, and this is where we have to talk about basic digital literacy. She didn't just use one fake profile, she engineered an entire cast of characters to manipulate the CEO.
Oh, totally.
It reads like a terrible spy novel. She posed as Mia, but then texted him from burner numbers, pretending to be Mia's violently jealous ex-boyfriend.
It's so elaborate.
She even created a fictitious Vanity Fair reporter who contacted him, claiming to have seen his messages, and Aron somehow mistook this Mia persona for a former ballerina he used to date.
Which is just, I mean, wow.
Over a weeks-long exchange, he actually sent her sexually explicit photos of himself.
From a cybersecurity standpoint, it is a catastrophic failure. So, of course, she springs the trap, demands hundreds of thousands of dollars in hush money.
Threatening to send the photos to the AMC board and the press?
Exactly. He was completely backed into a corner.
But hold on. Running a massive corporation requires layers of advisors, PR teams, security protocols. How does a CEO bypass all of that to send compromising photos to a random burner phone?
I think that's the danger of the silverback persona. When an executive gets used to direct, unfiltered access to the public on social media, they bypass their own security. They start thinking they're their own best PR team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Though to his credit, when the extortion hit, he did go straight to the FBI instead of paying her.
Right. The FBI got involved, Blackwood was indicted, and the AMC board basically called it a personal matter and considered it resolved. But his corporate judgment, it's still a roller coaster.
Oh, the financial context right now is brutal. AMC shares recently hit a 52-week low of 98 cents.
98 cents.
Yeah, a 94% decline over the past couple of years.
And the decisions driving that are so puzzling. He bought a $28 million stake in a gold mine. Financial analysts were completely bewildered.
It made no sense.
And he issued those highly dilutive APE preferred shares. Basically, if you don't know market mechanics, it flooded the market with new stock. It dilutes the value for his loyal retail investors. Imagine you have a pizza cut into 8 slices, and the chef tears it into 50 tiny slivers and says, look, you have more food.
That is the perfect analogy.
Right, that's what happened to their stock. Oh, and on top of that, he once did a YouTube interview from his home where he appeared to be completely pantsless.
the pantsless interview? I forgot about that. You have a CEO presiding over a massive destruction of shareholder value, and his response to his angry investors is to use pop lyrics.
Oh my gosh, the tweet.
Yes, as the stock crashed toward 98 cents. He went on X and literally quoted Taylor Swift, telling his furious critics to shake it off.
Former AMC bull Matt Kohrs and thousands of other investors were infuriated. I mean, it takes staggering hubris to use a billionaire pop star's lyrics to mock working-class retail investors who are losing their savings.
Which leads us right back to the MSG wedding leak. When he posted those intimate details, the fans on X were brutal. They called him an idiot and demanded Taylor and Travis sue him immediately.
Here's what I can't reconcile, though. The AMC Code of Conduct strictly limits unauthorized public communications. He's the CEO. He approved that code.
Right.
So is this just an innocent, impulsive mistake from a guy who doesn't understand the internet? Or is this a CEO who is so addicted to social media engagement that he desperately needs to be the center of pop culture?
Honestly, the line between corporate executive and internet influencer has entirely dissolved for him. When you spend years craving validation from an online army, you lose your filter. He was at the biggest cultural event of the year, and the urge to get likes and retweets simply overpowered his legal obligation to an NDA.
Well, later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking twist nobody saw coming. A twist involving high-end cameras and a massive multi-million-dollar theory.
Because the story does not end with a deleted tweet. The fallout was immediate. And we really have to figure out, was this leak an accident or was it the soft launch of a blockbuster documentary?
Right, because the consequences for breaking the MSG perimeter were severe. Bloomberg reported that Madison Square Garden management actually fired staff members who violated their NDAs by sharing details.
You were not messing around.
Not at all. But why fire staff if the details were already out there via Adam Aron?
Because they weren't just protecting the guest list, they were protecting the visual intellectual property.
Exactly. And despite the lockdowns, some stuff did trickle out. The Empire State Building lit up blue for something blue. Digital billboards outside MSG flashed Justin T. married.
Oh, and George Kittle, the 49ers tight end, he revealed he brought an old sentimental coin for Travis, which actually broke the couple's strict no gifts rule.
Interesting. And amid all this, there was a huge philanthropic element. The couple quietly donated $26 million to 20 different charities, including Feeding America and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library.
Which is an incredible gesture. But strategically, it's also a masterful PR move to balance the optics of a multi-million-dollar private wedding in Manhattan.
It totally controls the narrative. But here is the detail that changes our understanding of the whole event. If you look closely at Adam Aron's deleted post.
It's three of us.
Right there,
Yeah.
mixed in with his gushing over the Dior dress and the flowers, was an explicit mention of heavy, high-end camera equipment and technical film crews operating on the floor.
Pundits like Skip Bayless and outlets like Unilad jumped on this immediately. The theory now is that the extreme phone ban wasn't just for privacy. It was to protect a highly lucrative theatrical release.
Skip Bayless went on X and called it an ingenious move to release a scripted wedding movie. He pointed out that the $26 million they donated to charity will seem like absolute chicken feed compared to the global box office profits of a theatrical documentary.
And if you look at the playbook they used for the Eras Tour, it makes perfect sense. Why give away exclusive photos to a magazine for a flat fee? Or let grainy TikToks leak?
Exactly.
Capture it perfectly in cinematic 4K, edit it, and sell tickets globally.
By confiscating the phones, they created artificial scarcity. It's brilliant. But wait, isn't there a risk of alienating fans? Like, if you lock up the imagery of this huge cultural moment and then charge people $20 to see it in a theater, do they feel exploited?
Yeah. I don't think so. Not if the product quality is high enough. Fans want to feel like they are in the room. A beautifully edited, immersive cinematic experience does that. A leaked Instagram story doesn't.
That's very true.
By making sure the ticketed movie is the only footage that exists, you make it a mandatory global event.
Which brings us back to the multi-million-dollar question about our theater CEO. If this is a setup for a massive cinematic event distributed by AMC, did Adam Aron just accidentally ruin the surprise? Or was his deleted post actually a calculated stealth marketing campaign?
Think about the modern attention economy. Nothing builds hype faster than a leaked secret. If you want to plant the seed that a movie is coming without spending a dime on ads, having the CEO of the theater chain accidentally mention camera crews, delete it, and let the internet go crazy with theories, That is highly effective.
So like Apple accidentally leaving a prototype iPhone in a bar.
Exactly. It's a $0 high-yield marketing campaign.
I see your point, but given Aaron's history of erratic behavior, the catfish extortion, the pantsless YouTube interview, is he genuinely capable of a covert guerrilla marketing campaign? Or is he just a clumsy patsy who couldn't help himself?
That ambiguity is what makes it work. Whether he's a mastermind or just a guy with terrible impulse control, the result is the same. The leak dominated the conversation, and millions of people are now waiting to buy a ticket.
Fans are definitely vibrating with anticipation. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because we will be watching closely to see if that movie poster actually drops.
Oh, the transition from private ceremony to public commodity is basically complete at this point.
Which leaves you, the listener, with a final thought to chew on. What does it say about the evolution of modern celebrity when the most intimate, sacred moments of a human life are no longer private memories, but transformed into a global, ticketed, cinematic event? Are we witnessing the death of the private celebrity wedding replaced by the ultimate form of content monetization? When your love story becomes a carefully edited box office franchise, where does the corporate brand end and real life actually begin?
It really challenges everything we assume about the boundary between fame and reality.
You've been listening to Star Scoop Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.